Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother.
Well, hello all, and we are back with lots and lots to talk about. WrestleMania weekend. This one has more to talk about than normal, even though the weekend itself I don't think was that great. But I guess we should start with the biggest news with WWE buying AAA in Mexico. I guess the deal will not be official till the fall, but they bought the number 5 promotion in the world. If you're not aware of like where AAA still ranks, I know a lot of people were like, and me too, when I first saw it, I thought it was hilarious because they bought, of all places, freaking AAA, as horrible as AAA is. But they are the number 5 promotion in the world, number 2 promotion in Mexico, without a doubt trying to get a foothold into Mexico. They now have all of those gimmicks that AAA owns. That's probably something a lot of people haven't talked about, but this is not a good thing. This is, as much as we all kind of laughed but about everything that was done about AAA, about Triple H, about Paul talking about, we're going to keep it as a
Lucha Libre.
Traditional Lucha Libre. And I'm like,
AAA's never been.
Yes, AAA has never been, and in its current form is like old school ECW in a bad way. I don't know how, like, if this becomes a TKO company and a WWE company, I don't know how they're going to keep doing the things they're doing, because it's very much, people throw the word mud show around. It's very much a mud show. Lots of blood, lots of brawling, lots of old school hardcore stuff, and not great. And the booking is horrible. It looks like, Dave kind of said that this has been on the books for a long time, which of course looked like it, especially with how the FTR, that tag match, when they dropped the tag titles, went down, and everything kind of fell apart with whatever happened there, and all of those things. But not great, because you're now, because if TKO wants, they can go into Mexico, and even CMLL, which has been there for 100 years. The one thing CMLL has is all of those freaking arenas, because they are an arena company. They own every arena they're in, meaning that whenever CMLL and AEW put on that the show that they're going to put on, the Grand Slam show, I'm waiting for people to kind of show how dumb they are by saying, I can't wait till WWE runs Arena Mexico. Guess what? You can't do it, because CML owns all of those arenas. But what do you got to say, Markeem? I know you have a lot to.
First off, if y'all can hear in my background, I apologize. My girlfriend's grandmother has dementia. We're having a bit of a situation. I hope y'all can hear it. Anyway, this sucks. This sucks because the implications of it. It goes deeper than just the WWE snuffing out Mexico. I wanted to take notes, but I felt like that wasn't genuine. I'm just gonna shoot from the hip, and how I feel is how I feel. This makes pro wrestling as a whole scary, because this means that them doing this, I know this has been in the works for a while, and AAA is AAA, but they can pretty much acquire any company around the world that is not called AEW. And even if they don't, and they just acquire a lot of companies, then that would mean Tony Khan is going to have to start fighting fire with fire, and perhaps purchase companies himself. And if y'all want a world where 2 companies just own everything, then I don't want to follow pro wrestling at all. People are legit celebrating this. And take out the fact that AAA is horrible. Like it's the worst. It's the worst major league promotion I think in the world. Can we all agree on that? Like,
oh yeah, and I would say there are much smaller promotions that are far better than AAA. AAA is
AAA is horrible. Worst major league promotion.
Or even if they were worse, I mean, they're on a smaller level than what a AAA is.
Yeah. And like these people, they make weird decisions, things like that all the time. But it really just comes into question that like now they have gone into the mode where we want to control everything. So they're willing to acquire anybody from any region. And naturally, like I know I get on people that, openly celebrate when like somebody leaves a smaller company and goes to one of the big two. And like it's annoying, you know what I mean? But I get it. It's business. Like, am I a little frustrated that Kazuchika Okada is in AEW? Absolutely. You know what I mean? But do I blame Tony Khan for signing Kazuchika Okada? Nah, I don't. Like, how can you? You know what I mean?
And it's not like he would have just signed him to AEW and like he wasn't also maybe going to WWE.
Right.
When people talk about that, that's the part that they always kind of leave out, that he was leaving New Japan, and you're probably going to see the same thing in Mexico too. So you can keep going.
Like is it disruptive that like the big American companies are like actively just scouting some of your favorite promotions around the world? Absolutely, 100%, absolutely. Because I'm not the biggest fan of everything AEW does. I think that's pretty notorious on here, and everybody knows that I hate the WWE. But like at some point, it's gonna get to because they want to do this with a company in Japan. Why do you think they're magically sending guys like AJ Styles and magically sending people like Omos over there to Pro Wrestling Noah? Because eventually they're getting their feet wet to acquire one of the companies. And y'all better hope against hope that it's not New Japan Pro Wrestling, because tangentially, if Bushiroad drops New Japan Pro Wrestling, they're dropping Stardom too. So you know what I mean? And now they control both. And then Tony Khan is like, oh, well, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. Now it becomes like, do you want to be in the Converse and the WWE verse? But what if you're disillusioned with both? What if there's no alternatives at all? What if it's just literally two pro wrestling companies around the world, and you got these dumb fans? This is what upsets me the most. You got these dumb fans that are comparing how Tony Khan partners with companies in comparison to how the WWE buys companies. JD XXX666555545, whatever the fuck his name is, decided to hop his dumb big head ass on Twitter and say one company is playing chess while the other is playing checkers, not being able to name 5 wrestlers on the AAA roster that weren't already in the WWE.
Well, a lot of those people,
it's annoying, bro.
To a lot of those people, it's only 2 companies that exist. So it's like news like this, it does not bother them. Like, it doesn't.
But it should, man. It should, because you know why people were so. And I'm skipping ahead a little bit. People were so upset about how bad WrestleMania was. Even their little fan base is upset at WrestleMania, right? But just imagine if they own most of the pro wrestling world. Who are they competing with at that point? Because your motherfuckers go, well, Triple H came in, he saw the goodwill AEW had, and he had to step things up. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But can you imagine if there's nothing else but the Converse in the WWE?
Because here's the thing.
Who are either of them competing with it?
But here's the part of that is like you are headed towards a situation where the only people who can stay, and you're already there, the only people who can basically stand up to WWE is Tony Khan and his family. They're it. They're, nobody else is like the closest you would have would be CMLL. They would be the closest just because they've been there for 100 years. Yes, over 100 years. They own all of those arenas. They undoubtedly, I mean, it's Mexico. I'm going to piss people off when I say that. Mexico is a corrupt fucking country. I'm sorry. Newsflash. They've been there. Hey, they are. It's a corrupt fucking country. And if you don't think that CML has inroads, that family has inroads, that they can make life difficult
Tugs again
for WWE in a way, I mean, money always talks, and TKO definitely has more money. But look, how often has TKO really ran Mexico? They don't run Mexico, even in UFC, that much, really. So as much as you would think. So it's really weird and interesting and all of those things. So there is that. So
now this could all be nothing. This could just be AAA, deciding we don't want to do this shit no more. Let's just take the payday. And and you know what's so funny about it? I don't know how much they bought AAA for, right? But I guarantee you there's like a single person on the WWE roster that gets paid more than whatever they pay for AAA.
I would think multiple people.
Multiple people. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think so. I think so. I don't think they got.
You don't think think the Pinions got their payday?
Will this be in like their like financials? Like
yes, yeah. Like it probably won't be till next year, but yeah.
Right. But we'll see.
We're gonna
exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha. And I mean, they'll probably have to announce what they, anyways. So,
but man, this shit is scary, bro. And like, I talk shit about Tony Khan all the time. I do, but like, the one thing that I think he's at least tried to do is like, okay, I acknowledge that I take from my partners. You know what I mean? Like, give New Japan, for example. But at the very least, he's cognizant enough to go, let me give them something though, because like this is kind of wild. Like, okay, so I have Konosuke Takeshita, and as like a bridge, I'm gonna let y'all dual contract him so he can work like tours with y'all and things like that. I just signed Kevin Knight, but I'm gonna let him work the best Super Juniors and still have a dual contract. I'm gonna let y'all get Nick Wayne, you know what I mean? Help me build him up, you know what I'm saying? Because it's beneficial either way.
For somewhat goodwill on the business, I'm gonna help you out, Billy Corgan, and help you send some talent to you, and also help you pay for your women's only show, just because I want to make sure that things
absolutely. And I don't even want to take sides in that, because you know how that is. but at least Tony Khan had the wherewithal and like the foresight to be like, let me do something, because I know eventually, like,
is Tony Khan going to go into, like, if All In becomes like a massive thing? Is he going to go into these cities like WWE does and basically say, hey, if we come in, you're not going to be able to run, no other company can run any city-owned venues?
We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out.
But I mean, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that.
I don't think he is either. I don't think he is either. But we'll see. I think that's a better question for like 2-3 years down the line. We'll have a conversation then. But like, the WWE, they do that shit. They make it so hard for everybody else to run. And like this weekend especially was them, putting their stamp on WrestleMania weekend for them to completely control this thing. Like their goal, like I think Tony Khan.
Not according to Brett. Brett said that's not what happened.
But like you asked him on Twitter, like you asked, like what about the WWE ID branded shows?
Brett. So Brett saying he wasn't paid any money to do these shows.
Yeah, he said he didn't get any money, nothing from the WWE at all. No, nothing at all. He just was able to run his shows. That's what he is. That's what if you believe that. But like you asked him, like, explain the WWE ID shows. What are they getting out of it? Are they just like this? That flies into the face of everything we know about the WWE, because I'm really supposed to believe out of the kindness of their heart they put the WWE ID logo on your shows
and asked you to run that tournament. Yeah,
for nothing. And
if you got nothing out of it, you're a dumbass.
You're dumb, exactly. Either you're a liar or you're fucking stupid. It's one of the two. So make your mind up. Make Jesus, man. And we'll talk about another example when we talk about these shows of how they don't give a fuck about their partners. That's probably going to get me the hottest. So just warning y'all now. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I can't wait.
Okay. Are we done with Trip? You guys got anything to add about?
No, I mean, we'll see what comes with it. I think Sean said it the best. This is very funny surface level, but it does have implications that could really affect, the Mexican scene, obviously, but the business entirely. So I don't know. Again, these monopolies are not good.
I'm going to throw. Here's one of my things. is arguably the biggest star in AAA, is not in AAA right now. If
are you gonna?
no, I'm gonna. If you know, you know. I'm gonna throw this out there. There is an AEW tippy top talent that if you wanted to do a match with this individual and that individual at Forbidden Door would be insane. Is all I'm gonna say.
Oh, you're crazy.
What's the match? What are you talking about? Kenny Omega? Like
No. Mox and Psycho Clown.
This motherfucker,
gotcha.
man. I mean, it's not because Mox is gonna be busy, but you.
But am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not at all. You're not at all.
I mean, you want a brawl? There was a brawl.
Y'all want to know an even more evil thing the WWE did? So they announced that they acquired AAA, and you got Stephanie Bakir standing right there, and Andrade standing next to her. Like, what the hell?
He's a soldier, bro. What does it matter? Who cares?
Like, but I'm just saying, like, Andrade, like, come stand up here. You know where Andrade's like loyalties lie. You know the company that gave him a shot, and we ain't even got to get into the Stephanie Bakir thing.
Come on, test them.
This company that fucking protected the man that tried to kill her, and she has to stand up here and be happy that now the company that she decided to work for is now fucking acquired these people.
Do we even know where Conan lies in all of this?
It doesn't matter. He apparently has some podcast episode. He's going to explain everything. I don't care.
What comes around goes around.
Yeah, what comes around goes around.
Fuck off.
You
Fuck
bitch
off.
ass.
You just sold your okay.
You sold the company. You didn't do anything. You didn't no boss
Hoard
moves
yourself out.
like
You
that.
hoard yourself out to these guys, and
Right.
You didn't make a boss move, brother.
Why? Because Tony Khan made you look like a little bitch because you can't book with shit. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
I'll miss Triple Mania. They were
We'll still get
fun bad shows. You know,
Where's my fucking music?
I can't. I still can't believe, bro. They had Stephanie back here had to stand up there. She got no love for these people. These people didn't give a fuck about her. You know what I mean? And she had to stand up there, and you saw how uncomfortable she looked, bro. That was crazy.
I mean, look at it this way: the biggest star they could pull out was Vikingo. That's the biggest star they could pull out, and it's not like he was.
Those fans are really excited for Vikingo coming in when for 2 years, 3 years they've been shitting all over this dude.
Yeah,
the guy, you know. Tony Khan puts the graphic Omega versus Vikingo dream match. What dream match? Who cares about this? And
who cares about this?
Vikingo versus
I know
Vikingo versus. All right,
this shit drew. So
now they're fantasy booking like Chad Gable versus Vikingo and stuff.
Fuck no. We'll get into that.
Fucking hate these people, man.
Okay. So shall we talk? What
did y'all watch that was non-WWE? Because I watched literally nothing.
I don't blame you. There was
you didn't miss
there was lots of, I will say this. There was lots of really good individual matches on shows.
I will say now I want to hear your favorite and your least favorite. Like what you thought was the best and the worst non-WWE matches of the weekend.
Matches that I saw. Yeah. That the main event of the second Dragon Gate show.
That first one was so unforgettable.
And,
not unforgettable, but forgettable.
Yeah. And then the worst match. I'm gonna say the worst because I really
about that.
I really did.
Butterbean.
No. That match was somewhat entertaining. A little bit entertaining, but the match before that Maki Ito James match, bro. Did you watch that match?
I saw both.
They just stopped in the middle of the match.
I wasn't going to include those because I skipped over both of those matches. I was like,
oh my God, it was terrible.
I'm like, nah, I'm not watching this. Of everything that I actually watched, and I don't think it was a bad match, it was just the worst thing that I actually watched was the ID match with Izzy. That's probably the worst match, and that wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination because I watched that because Joe Lanza had good things about Izzy.
Oh,
So
you
I
was
wanted
just grabbing stuff, Jeff.
yeah, I'm not lying. I would just grab. There was I think I watched, maybe not counting WrestleMania, I may have watched 3 full shows. Maybe I really picked and chose because there wasn't anything. Oh no, 4. I forgot about Bloodsport because I did watch all of Bloodsport. But
Just a nothing show.
The first
Just a
Dragon
nothing
Gate show. I watched the March Hitchcock Memorial and Janelle Spring Break.
I want to talk about what Vic and Sean are saying. They're both right. Sabu was horrible.
I would put that maybe in the best, even though it wasn't like it was a bad match, but it was.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was both. They are both correct. Like as a match, it is awful. But I will never forget some of the shit I saw in that. And Sabu, props to him. Please don't do this no more.
No,
like stop doing this. Stop doing this, man. But y'all are both right. They're not. Neither one of them.
Yeah, I agree. Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with both of them. Yes.
Yeah. I watched some of Spring Break. But yeah, I picked and choose because there was just we talked about this on the there was nothing that really jumped out that I really wanted to watch. I wanted to watch now if I was there would have been, I probably would have watched a lot more stuff because I would have gone to Bloodsport, probably would have gone to the West Coast Pro Show.
Do you think you would have had a good time if you were there in person? Like hindsight now, looking at all the shows.
Oh, we also forgot the Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Oh no, I completely forgot about that.
That was fire.
That was probably
no. We're all wrong. The best match of WrestleMania weekend was Aja Kong. What's that girl name? What's that girl name? Hold on. The rookie girl.
I didn't watch about her about it. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. You need to go like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I Katsuki. That was amazing. Yeah, the Marvelous. That match is incredible.
What show was that on? What show was
Marvelous.
it on?
It's on the Marvelous show.
Gotcha.
That match is amazing.
And that whole show is really good, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
That and the Tokyo Joshi Pro Show are both. Those are like shows you need to go out to. What is it? But my bigger point is that it was really telling to me. You had a lot of like individual matches, individual people you could see were really good. And a lot of those people were not on any of the major shows. None of them were on the GCW show. I know Rich from Voices of Wrestling talked about this, and he was there, and I kind of felt the same way watching it. We need an alternative from the collective in such a major fucking, especially watching that first Dragon Gate show, because one of the problems with that first Dragon Gate show was those fans did not give a shit about any of the talent there. And that really hurt the show. Brutal. That's the second show
the whole way through.
Yeah. The second show, what made it better was the fans were far more into it. There weren't as many people there, but the fans were a lot better. So we need something different. Hopefully
it's going to get harder and harder to do.
Well, but
especially with the elimination of Ring of Honor. Again, that's a big hole that's kind of missing.
But you know what?
And that's not coming back. So
because WrestleMania is where next year in
New Orleans.
New Orleans. That gives me some hope because that means we might get more of the Texas Indies going, putting on shows, which would be good because that's where a lot of the hot stuff is right now. Even though it's
resurrect Wrestle Circus,
a lot of those dudes are fiscally responsible out there. So.
Yeah,
we might not even get those, to be honest.
Right? Yeah, but we got New Texas Pro. The show wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, at least seeing it. But it was. I don't know. It was what I think we thought it was, but show wise, it was the Joshi talent, which probably should have been featured more on other people's shows, and the Dragon Gate talent, which were everywhere. The Dragon Gate guys were
getting their money's worth, right?
Oh man, they were fucking everywhere.
I have a quick question, and it's kind of going to segue later into what we're going to discuss. Did you hear anybody? And correct me, if you heard, tell me. It's fine. Did you hear anybody talk about TNA Unbreakable happening this weekend?
No.
I
heard people talk about the main event for like an hour, and then that was it.
What was the main event?
It was that the barbed wire match. No, the barbed wire match. The barbed wire with
the Sami Callihan had a match. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I did hear about that.
That was the only one.
that main event. They main evented that show with that.
No, it didn't. No.
No.
AJ Francis.
Right.
That three-way was the main
right.
event.
That main event. But
I was about to say, I hope they didn't main event the show with that. From what I heard, that match is terrible.
Interesting. Nobody talked about that show.
Yeah, I mean, where was Here's a question: where was the WWE talent for that show?
Ooh, a lot of NXT people who didn't go stand and deliver.
I cannot wait to get there. You hear me? I can look. Y'all want unhinged Marquine? When we talk about that, you're gonna get unhinged Marquine. You know what I'm talking about. You know.
Oh yeah.
Joe Hendry versus Randy Orton.
I can't.
No. We'll leave it. Did anybody watch Stand and Deliver?
No. Yeah. That was gonna be that's the best WWE show from the weekend.
That's not saying much.
I mean, that ain't saying shit, bro.
Hold up.
Oh man, the best. Better than the Hall of Fame?
I legitimately thought everybody, even those women in that ladder match that I thought was going to be a disaster, and it actually wasn't. I thought everybody worked really hard. I thought all those people I thought came with something to prove. I thought even Trick Williams looked good, and he never looks good. Like I thought everybody worked really hard, and I was like, man, I'm gonna watch this show, whatever. I'm not doing nothing, and I actually enjoyed it the whole way through. I legit had a lot of fun. And I think the main event of that show is the best WWE match of the weekend too.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Really? Joe didn't like that match at all.
The main event? He didn't like the three-way.
Like
see. Look, Lesnar's my guy. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. He always makes sure that I get a ballot, even if like he messages me randomly. Hey, you got a ballot? Fuck with Lesnar, but like. He gotta stop digging his heels in, bro. Like that match was a lot of fun. Man.
He liked the first two matches a lot. He liked those matches a lot, but then he just wasn't.
Man, that three-way was so fun, bro. Come on, Lesnar. Come on, man.
Did you care about any of the discourse behind the attendance for that show? Because I did not. I didn't think it was a big deal.
I mean, it was in the morning, so I do
exactly. It was in the damn morning. In Vegas.
I think.
I can't believe I'm defending NXT, but
I will say this. I think people made too big of a deal of it, but I also think it says something about NXT too, because even though it was a morning show, but I think WWE knows this too because they put it on the morning of WrestleMania, so that it's just not the it's not the same. People aren't going to like every time they try to do this where they take the current NXT out of Orlando. This is what happens. So it is what it is.
What was the year where they had didn't Gargano have a match on like one of these like a couple years
2019,
ago?
That was the best takeover they ever had.
No, not that one. Obviously not that one I'm talking about. I'm talking about recently. Wasn't that like 2 years ago? They did pretty good. It was like 9,000 people there or something like that. Was that?
I think that was the first. I think that was the first year of.
Brendan said 29. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. That's the good stuff.
I know Gargano was in NXT after that. I don't
know. I think it's that first. I think what you're talking about is that first NXT after it changed.
I believe so.
But I think it was still on a. It was still like I think it was an afternoon show. First of all, and I think that a lot of people said that a lot of those tickets were like combo tickets.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just curious.
Yeah. But I mean, they still did a shit ton. I'm just saying that I think there was, but they're still doing the combo thing. And I would think
now people just aren't bothering to go.
Yeah. Just aren't. I mean, it was the day of WrestleMania. I could see. And if you were somebody that went to the Hall of Fame and then tried to go to this show, there's no way, because the Hall of Fame didn't end till like fucking
4 a.m. Eastern.
He did. He went 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Yes.
Man.
That's shame
ain't
on you
worthwhile?
for going to the Hall of Fame. Shame on you. Fuck would you do that? For what?
To
Because
see
Triple H to
to
give
see
you
Triple
this
H.
fucking Jesus Christ.
Triple H think Vince.
Oh, y'all want to talk about that? Y'all want to talk about the weird Vince McMahon stuff all weekend?
Hang on. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Damn, I was gonna say something I forgot, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Do we want to talk about the weird PR week that was WWE?
Man, what a hell of a week in
Talk
wrestling.
about today?
I know I just talked about
yesterday,
the two
before
companies. It's
Mania?
more than just two companies, but we'll focus on that. Last Wednesday, Dynamite, incredible show. I think everyone agrees with that. And Collision follow up after that. And then I don't know what the hell happened with WWE and all the stuff between Roman Reigns doing the variety. Was it Variety or who did he do it with? I don't know. Some publication.
It was a Variety. I think it was a Variety piece.
Yeah, well, he's coming out about political stance on there. We had the rumor of Trump potentially showing up. That was all over the place. And then I don't know what happened with the Legento activity that was supposed to stop this stuff, but it's just gone full blown. What happened? It was entertaining. I was very entertained on Twitter.
And you had the Nick Khan interview as well, which of we don't bench people. And I mean, you even had Sean Ross Sapp going, wait a fucking minute. You don't bench people? I mean, he had a whole list. That was the most animated I think I've ever seen Sean. Which was kind of funny.
And for people that says Tony Khan has fucking WWE on the brain, like my goodness,
you saw
damn sure had Tony Khan on the brain.
They released I forgot, maybe 90-minute sit down interview with Paul Levesque and Peter Rosenberg,
right?
Where Levesque is just somewhat shitting on the fans. Obviously, I didn't watch it, but I saw little bits and pieces. But basically, just shitting on the fans. What was that one quote that he said in there? Was like, "I wish people would just shut up and just watch the show," or something like
critics,
that. Like,
not being critics and
when you're a critic, at one point you love this, right? So, I mean, just enjoy the thing that you love. Stop looking for things.
I don't know.
Every time
maybe people wouldn't be critics if you put on a non-boring fucking show every once in a while.
But when you first showed up, they ate your feces, bro. They loved you. They loved you when you first showed up. The problem is it hasn't gotten any better. And like, although I criticize that fan base, and I will later on, I criticize that fan base. They're not complete dummies. They know nothing has changed. They know that. And you're starting to see it. But
let's not forget John Cena coming out and saying
I love you, Vince.
That's the second time he's done this. Second time he's done that, by the way.
And it's unsolicited, bro. Like I said in the Discord, we all have people in our lives. I think we all can speak to this that are unsavory people. But I'm not going to get in front of a public forum and where the people that may have been wronged by said person may hear what I have to say and go, I don't care who gets upset. I love this person anyway. I was telling the story in the Discord. One of my best friends in the world, he got locked up for selling drugs. I'm never gonna fucking go in front of the people that were ruined, the fiends whose lives he ruined, and go, and I don't care what y'all say. I played football with this guy growing up. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's crazy, man.
What about Roman Reigns and that weird diatribe about the lawsuit and about
fucking weird, man.
It was.
I didn't hear that.
He goes, "This got to be very." What did he say? He's got to be really embarrassing for I got what he was trying to say. He was basically saying, "Hey, this has got to be really embarrassing for her for having to have all of this stuff be out in the public." But that's not how he said it. He worded it all sorts of wrong. And you would think their PR department would have gone over it and said, can we reword this? I don't think this is exactly what he was trying to say. And that's not what happened. And it came off weird and it came off very tone deaf. If
Paul
you didn't
Heyman,
try.
Paul Heyman post WrestleMania. Look, I love Paul.
God.
He showed up on Pat McAfee and he make that deportation joke. I was like, man, this is all going so well. And
some stuff is leaked. Leaked from the roast that they did, and apparently Nia Jax just went the fuck in on people, and
yeah,
Wait, I didn't hear about this.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I didn't know
when
about the
they
Nia
announced
Jax
this
thing. What?
and they said that they weren't gonna air this. I was like, all right, because here it comes. Because they're
details,
gonna.
I guess, from Reddit. It says, I was there and the whole thing was extremely controversial. Too many things to name. Nia Jax, in no uncertain terms, literally told Charlotte to go fuck herself and that no one wants her there and that she'd be better off at home worrying about her 3 ex-husbands. She attacked Cody in his fakeness and genuineness. These weren't jokes. These were airing grievances that there's a whole night of some real life shooting. Something about Lex Luger is not the total package anymore. Extremely offensive. So yeah, they,
Oh man,
why? I don't know why you do that. I don't understand why you thought wrestlers are some of the most sensitive people in the world. I don't understand why you thought that would be a good idea.
Because I figured if people start going in, that's what you're going to get, which is why I think they knew not to air this. So, but it is what it is. So that doesn't shock me. I mean,
and then do we wait to talk about the biggest PR coming of this? Or do we wait to talk?
No,
about
let's talk
Dwayne
about
Johnson?
Dwayne.
The Rock.
Oh, no, that's the main event. Let's see.
We'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait.
My dog, Dwayne, the final boss Johnson. That's what I'm talking about. My favorite wrestler.
Man, they have to sell 2 nights. With what this weekend has shown us, they got 2 nights of wherever they are, New York for SummerSlam. Like, what are they going to do for that show?
That's gonna be hard.
Like 2 nights in a stadium for this current climate. That's gonna be rough, bro.
They think Cardi B is enough.
No.
They cast like I don't even want to go there with her. She showed up on my screen and I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, at least she likes wrestling, man. At least
I understand because she lay off the plastic surgery just a little bit.
No, that's how she fits in.
No. Oh my God.
Y'all leave Cardi alone, man. I love me some Cardi B.
Fucking Chase, man.
So are we gonna is there any purpose in running this thing down match by match? Is there any
that is why I wanted to tell you. I did not watch these shows. I did not watch these shows in full. I did not. I've watched maybe like 4 or 5 matches total between the 2 nights because of what you just said, Chase. Like, what is the purpose? I feel like we're all smart enough. I feel like myself, I'm a little smart, but I feel like we're all smart enough that we can be able to give really good analysis without needing to watch these matches on here. Okay. When you look down this card, why do you need to watch the New Day versus the War Raiders to tell you what you thought about? You know what you need to talk about with that match? Why was this fucking match on this show? Because why did you put this match on this show and not put Private Party and the Guns on the show?
Private Party and the Guns.
I don't know, Josh. You're doing it.
Private Party and the Guns.
You're doing it.
We all look alike to you,
You're doing it.
I keep doing it with them. No.
Wait, who's the Guns?
Profit.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about Street Profits, but who's the Guns?
Anyways.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
But no, am I lying? Like, look at the matches that you saw, and like I feel like we can make
I think
conversation without watching the majority of this.
The opener we should talk about because Jey Uso.
No, that's not the opener, Josh. The opener was Paul.
Oh, Paul!
Triple H Levesque standing in the middle of the ring while Alicia Taylor, who's terrible, you see her, Alicia Taylor doing Paul Triple H Levesque, and then they play his music. And he stands there and looks around like, oh, look what I created. Bitch, are you kidding me? Like every fucking show he's doing this. And I joked about it. I was like, he's gonna come out here and get his opening pop and his Hall of Fame spot. And just didn't think that was gonna happen. And
he was the only one that got a Hall of Fame spot. He was everyone else was just standing there, and he walks out, and that look on Bret's face.
Bret Hart gave him. Like I'm disappointed. He's shaking his head like, oh my God, I can't believe this shit.
These McMahons, bro. And Stephanie got hers on the next night. And they can't help themselves, man. I'm not mad for Rock trying to push their asses out. Fuck them. I can't stand them. Damn.
That Triple H thing was so unnecessary, bro. Like let the show start with the crowd yeeting.
Maybe he knew Jay was gonna fucking lay a fucking egg, because I mean those fans were into it, but how do you have a so-so match with fucking Gunther? Like,
I mean,
who does not pull him?
A lot of people have been doing it lately, though.
But who does not pull Jay aside and go, "Hey, I get you probably don't want to do this.
Do it, brother. Let's do it."
That look, he's gonna lay it in on you, and we need to have him lay it in on you because it's going to be better for the match and it's gonna make you look better. And he's like, "Nah, I'm only gonna take one or two of those chops. Fuck you, fuck you." If you don't understand the moment and you don't understand that he needs to lay it in just a little bit, and maybe that chest needs to be, some different colors and bleed just a little bit.
No.
It's not just that you win the title, it's how you win the title.
Yes.
Man. We got to remember that. Like, we have to. Well, actually, no, not with these people. But Jesus, man, not with these people. Not with these people.
It was not like there were like what 2 matches on both these nights that weren't nothings.
3, maybe.
There's one match I like more than everyone, though. It's kind of funny, but
Me too.
What, Joe Hendry, Randy Orton? Is that what you like more than everyone?
We're not there yet.
Stop playing.
We're still on night 1. Is there anything else?
But yeah, the Jey Uso thing. I mean, the crowd reacted. For everybody that says they hate him, they still react to him.
They have, but you could definitely tell that this is going to be rough.
Of course. Well, I don't think he's gonna have the belt that long.
I mean, he's definitely one of those, like, you chase the moment. Like, even like the fans didn't necessarily care about the chase like they did.
Right.
Like, I mean, granted, I use Cody, but that's like a different story. But even then, you have those people who like they're really into the chase. Yeah, there you go, Kofi, where they're really into the chase of getting it, and then get that crazy moment when he wins. I don't even think the fans were that much into the chase of Jey Uso, but they enjoyed the moment of him winning. They got that, his WrestleMania moment, God, I think he should have lost on the Raw. Like, you have this new heel group with Heyman and Rollins. Like, they should have just had Rollins beat his ass.
That's won the title,
and strap the rocket to the whole group.
He didn't spam super kicks. He did nothing.
And then it would have been awesome if like that's how they established that like the Rock is aligned with them. Like Heyman comes out and he goes, "I spoke with the final boss, and just to make sure that you're sharp, Jay. We want you to defend that title and be a fighting champion against the what they call him, the architect, whatever the fuck his name is." So, and it has Seth beat his ass in like 5 minutes. Establish them.
Right. I would have done that last night. It'd been great.
What else was on? What else was I can't?
I watched.
Night 1 was so boring.
I watched Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight, and it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't.
I was very surprised about that top rope German that they did. I popped for that a little bit.
I think they went out there. They tried. The one thing I noticed, these fans want Jacob Fatu so bad. Like they want him. Like you could tell they were like, why is he wasting his time with this guy? Why is he in this spot? We don't want him in this spot. We want him higher.
Again, like I told you, Josh. Like I told you, if the plan is Seth winning the world title, then it's a good thing that Jacob did not win the world. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing he's not. Yeah, like if that's that's not the plan. If that's not, then I'm with you. If that's not the plan, I'm totally with you.
Because before Raw, I and after everything was done, my thing was you need to like take Jacob, you need to take Braun, you need to take Gunther, and you need to take Logan Paul. And you need to separate those 4 guys away from everybody else. And you need to have those 4 guys like just do matches with each other and have feuds with each other. And those need to be the 4 guys you kind of build at a lower level than you do the tippy top guys that you can't probably have these guys face without hurting them. So but then we had Raw and that kind of changed that. But I guess you could still.
Although I will say, I like the angle. I like the angle on Raw. I will say that. I did like the angle. Yeah, y'all think I just hate the WWE. I mean, I do, but that angle was good.
Y'all keep
Somebody-
jumping all over the place.
I know. Okay, so what else was on night one? Because I don't remember what.
That's what I was. Yeah. I feel like a couple people they didn't talk to each other about gear because Ray Phoenix and
Charlotte.
Chad Gable, they were both in red, and then
Charlotte and
like you
Tiffany
said, Charlotte and Tiffany, they look like tag team. Like,
But I think that's maybe what they were going for too.
Yeah, they were going two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. I'll take that.
Hey, I actually like that match way more than the entire.
Charlotte's the most she's the most hated person in the company, and she comes through damn near every time, bro. And this match
was it sloppy? Yes. Was it ugly? 100%. But they were like beating the shit out of each other, and I was into it.
It was like I don't think it was great, but it was good. And on this show, it was definitely maybe the best match on the show to get to the main event. That's not saying a lot, but
like after the match, Tiffany Stratton looked like she just went through a war, and I like shit like that. I was into it. They were marking each other up. Charlotte, like I love that. I know you didn't, Sean. I know you. I love that. Tiffany was like sandbagging her, whether that be intentional or not, because these motherfuckers really don't like each other. I love
now.
There's nothing wrong with a little sloppiness.
After watching this, never mind. We won't go. I won't go.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of sloppiness when it comes to matches.
Well, I was gonna say.
I think that's what made the Athena and Mercedes match on Wednesday better than what it could have been because they were a little bit sloppy, but they still held things together. And,
I was gonna say, where would you put how would you, if you're Mariah May and you watch that match and you see how they gave, I understand it doesn't matter.
It's a dream. They want to go there.
Wouldn't you look at that and be like, man, I don't know. I don't know where my spot in that company would be.
You don't think she's better than Tiffany Stratton?
I think she's better, but I think there's somebody doesn't see that she's better. That's the thing.
They'll put them
because Paul thinks super highly of Tiffany Stratton. Like he sees her as and is he going to be able to?
So it'd be a situation like let's just sign.
Right.
Let's sign Mariah May so that she is not in AEW. The Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. Let's get them away from there just so that they don't have them there.
But also, what if he brings Mariah May in and pushes her? Like, if I'm Tiffany Stratton, I'm kind of pissed off. Either way,
any of the talent that see that. How does Dragon Lee feel that Ray Phoenix got the Ray Mysterio spot when he was a part of the story?
I don't know.
Well, how do you have a Ray Phoenix match that's also just kind of there?
Ray Phoenix versus Chad Gable, and I heard it was not that great.
It wasn't.
It was bad.
It wasn't. It was.
And I don't care about not having a lot of notice. Two pros should be able to go in there and call a pretty solid match, but
they don't call matches. That's the thing. I think. What night was the Jade match on? Was that night one?
That was night.
Okay. Here's the thing with that.
Watching
after
Jim Cantori. Yeah. Fuck.
How'd it end?
So, the ending was good because Jade's a freak of nature, but
it shouldn't have gone 8.5 minutes, though.
No, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. But the thing is, watching that match, I wonder if the way Jade was trained is more of where people can call a match. She's not going to call a match, but other people can call the match, and she goes along with it. And the way WWE does it is so choreographed that's messing with her head because it's I have to remember all of these spots.
Kid had the best comment in the Discord. He was like, "It looks like her confidence is completely shot. She looks like a person that is scared of fucking up because of the consequences of fucking up." And I was like, "Oh my god, that is so on the money." Because the one thing we could always say about her in AEW, again, this lady is not good. I'm never going to say
confident.
She was super confident, bro. She was like, "Look, it might not look good, but I'm gonna look good doing it." And now she's thinking about every single thing she does in the ring, bro. Because those people,
but she's not the first person. She's not the first person that's happened to either. Where, they break people because Mr. I is the last one to call it in the ring. Can't have people do that anymore. and we have to break people's confidence because that's not the way we do it here. So fuck off. What else was on night one?
That son of a bitch. The main event. You want to talk about the main event at all?
That was like the only good match on that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. And it was super story heavy, but I mean,
Lot-
it was good.
The
Yeah,
walking and brawling segment was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be for a Roman Reigns match.
I mean, can we now? I am now more confident than ever of saying I think one of Punk's issues in AEW was he realized he could not go with those guys the way he wanted to, because if you watch this match, he was kind of there. Like, he did shit, but the other two guys did more.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't blame that. That's not me, but I think that got to his head. I think that he wanted to be able to do what those guys did, and it's like, dude, you're not that guy anymore.
Yeah, I thought Roman and Seth worked their asses off, and like Punk just, Punk was, he was Punk. He was step slower.
Roman's veneers popped me very well. Those things are so bright and so white and so big.
Oh, those veneers are so like.
Yeah. I haven't watched. I just skimmed through this match. I just kind of, it felt like one of those matches that fans were just really getting into what Paul Heyman was going to do, and
I ain't gonna lie, it popped me because I was
we were talking about all week that was going to happen.
But I was thinking about what Josh said, man. I want them to go that far with it. I don't know if they will.
They're not.
I don't know if they will.
They're not going to go that far with it. It's very evident.
Like, as soon as it happened, I was like,
"What is that far? What is that far?"
The promo, man. The promo that Josh said he should cut, which he should cut.
Which just cut a promo on like veer into the hey, we all work for Rock, and veer into the Rock versus Triple H thing.
Gotcha.
But they're probably not
I'm sure The Rock probably wants to do that too.
Oh, I'm sure he does too, because I'm sure he would like to air some grievances.
Would.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it in the Hall of Fame. But like Triple H thanked so many people named The Rock Johnson. That's funny.
It's not funny. It's
funny.
It's
you said it's not funny?
It's not funny because it's a better story than anything they're putting on right now.
True,
but that's fine. I don't care about what the fuck this company puts on TV. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing right now.
But that's what I mean. It's not funny because it's entertaining. It's good. It makes it
like, look, they clearly them cursing and shit like that, they want to be more real, right? Everybody knows at this point the jig is up. These two guys do not,
especially after today.
Yeah. Just lean into it. Just lean into it, man. Right. You would get me to watch more if they did that, honestly.
So The Rock, anyways, night two is main evented by Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Holy shit, was this match boring? Rock wasn't there.
Whoever what were they called? Produced this match needs to be fired. Fired. I don't know.
Was it Bobby Roode? Was it really Bobby Roode?
Bobby Roode. Sorry, Bobby. I like you, but gone. You cannot. No. I don't know why. This needed to be a smoke and mirrors match. It was evident every match that Cena's had for the last 5 matches have all sucked ass. This needed to be smoke and mirrors. And you could do that because you did the angle to start this off with Cody getting bloodied and the attack and all of that. You could do all of those things, would have been far better. Instead, we got this over.
Let's lock up.
What the fuck? Anyways, this match.
Travis Scott taking an eternity to get to the ring.
Like, why would
why would
you have Travis Scott just come down with Cena at the start?
That was my second favorite thing. We'll get to my first favorite thing. My second favorite thing of all of WrestleMania was that entrance from Travis Scott. Because he took his sweet ass time. He got the belt. He sat there, rubbed it. Got a belt. Sat there, rubbed it. Sat there, rubbed this little hardcore championship belt, and then just walked very slowly down the ramp to interfere. They even gave him a nameplate. They did a little nameplate on there where Pat and granted, I've been on McAfee's side. People say he's one of the worst announcers. I'm like, I don't think he's that bad. This show kind of proved he's really, really bad. For sure. I am not. I thought he was terrible. You didn't even
watch the whole damn thing.
No, I did not watch the whole
coward.
thing. But for this, I'm not coward. I'm smart. Everyone agrees with me. I did the right thing. But I thought his commentary was bad. But I thought this moment of him coming down to the ring, him being Travis Scott was great. But for the finish of just the distraction where you belt shot in 1, 2, 3, damn,
nut shot, belt shot, 1, 2, 3. Nobody bought it. The whole crowd was like, "What?" Number one, they didn't buy that finish. Number two, they were all thinking Rock's going to show up because they were selling T-shirts that said "Finally, the Rock's come back to Las Vegas." They never showed up. And then you got Rock today. Pat McAfee's like, "So where were you?" "Well, I had other commitments."
Hell yeah, baby.
No, you saw the writing on the wall and you didn't want to be a part of another shit show like Black Adam.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Kill the
hierarchy. The hierarchy in the WWE universe is about to change.
Oh man, that was good.
But he was like, but yeah, okay, you're gonna shit on everything today, talking about how they called me before Elimination Chamber because it was looking bad. They weren't going to sell out, so they called me in, and I wanted Cody to turn heel and not John. And he just
Cody being Cody was like, "Nah, that's not gonna work.
That doesn't work for me, brother."
So Cody's gonna have to see. This is the thing with Cody turning heel. We're gonna get to a point where he's gonna have to turn heel, and then it's gonna be too late.
Yeah. 100%.
That's the
because you're gonna have to flip Cena because clearly they have like turned the corner on him. Like now they're just cheering him. Yeah, I mean, did you see the Raw? Where he was like, they were like, "We were wrong," and the crowd was chanting his name and stuff. Yeah, they got to flip them both, I think. But it's too late, like you said, Josh. It's too late. It's too late
because Cody has no like. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into that rant.
Why not? That's what we have this show for.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Okay. Cody's a dumbass. Like, I don't understand. Like, either he's the most stubborn idiot ever, or he's just a complete fucking dumbass. Because you've now had this happen to you twice, where it's evident you need to turn heel, and now you're going to do the same thing you did last time, where you're just going to wait and not do it, and not go, "Hey, why don't I just go ahead and turn heel? Because it looks like maybe they're starting to kind of turn on me," instead of waiting until they actually turn on me and then it's too late and then it's not going to have the same impact. Why don't I do it early? Whatever. I mean, I've said this. I have said this over and over again. It is so clear that Rock has a better idea of how pro wrestling should work than Paul Levesque. It's not even funny for him to be able to like, "Hey, why don't we turn, him heel?" And they're all like, I don't know about that. Come on.
Because The Rock is the greatest mind in pro wrestling. I am a huge.
Here's the thing about The Rock. The Rock is actually an actual fan of pro wrestling, and not whatever Paul Levesque is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's
a fan of himself.
Right. Like, I'm sure The Rock is a fan of himself too.
Yeah, of course.
But he's also a fan of pro wrestling. So I think that's the bigger thing. I think he is more like Tony Khan than Triple H is like Tony Khan.
Where they're just like, 100%. 100%. Triple H is way more of a fan of himself. You know why? Because he thought he was on the level of Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. That's why he's way
I need someone to go back and actually explain to people what the Reign of Terror actually was. Because I don't think a lot of like newer fans have a concept.
They don't get it, bro.
They don't get what the Reign of Terror actually was.
People think we're weird when we come on here and like we shit on this man, but like we live this man's like fucking ego. Like we lived through it, bro. Like they look at how the media. See, this is why I got so angry in the video I made, because they look at how the media covers him, and everybody's like, "Oh, people are just hating on Triple H and all that stuff." Like, nah, we know this dude. Like we know this motherfucker. way better than y'all that have been watching pro wrestling for 5 minutes know this man. I saw what he did to Booker T. I saw what he did to Rob Van Dam. I saw the games he played with so many Chris Jericho, Goldberg, all these people.
The championship.
Gave himself a championship because he felt like the Intercontinental title was beneath him. Shit like that, man. And you really want me to believe that now the same guy, like Brandon said, has to show up at the beginning of every single fucking PLE, whatever, is now all of a sudden some different person? Like, no, this motherfucker is the same guy. Same guy.
The Hall of Fame speech shows that.
It's weird. It's weird. You bring up Vince McMahon, knowing what Vince McMahon, the black mark that is Vince McMahon right now. You think all these people except The Rock, knowing how passive aggressive that is. Like he's a bitch, man. He's just a bitch. It's just that simple. He's the same dude, man. Same guy. Sucker.
So should we talk about the Orton match?
I would love to talk about the Orton match and how much I loved this match. It was probably my favorite thing on all of WrestleMania, of him beating Joe Hendry. Like, how perfect was this? The fact that it was Randy Orton was the person that did this. There's something about that that's just so poetic, and that I love. The fact that Randy Orton is the one that put Joe Hendry through the grinder. And how long was that match? It was 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
He wasn't squashed. He said he wasn't squashed.
I don't understand. What are people saying?
No, Joe Hendry's saying this.
What?
Joe Hendry went on Busted Open and said, I wasn't squashed, and
not a good for single individual is going to watch TNA Impact based on what they just saw. Am I lying?
No.
Maybe one, right? Maybe one or two in the world of people who saw this. Of all the worldwide viewers, which was below top 10, by the way, on Netflix. They didn't hit the top 10 for WrestleMania. I don't care if it wasn't US combined. The fact that the rest of the world didn't get top 10 for WrestleMania, I don't know, whatever. But I could say maybe one or two people might watch it. But other than that, the people who say that it's going to be like this, that this helped TNA. It helped Joe.
Maybe it helped Joe Hendry. Moment.
Maybe it helped Joe Hendry. Maybe the fact that if he gets signed in the future, people know who this guy is. But TNA and their world champion, you trying to tell me they didn't get buried for this?
Matthew, you put it in the chat. I love that you support us, but this ain't even about Joe Hendry. This is not about Joe Hendry, man. TNA, shame on y'all. I can only feel but so bad for y'all because at some point you got to put your goddamn foot down. This was
they did. The guy they put his foot down got fired.
He got fired for putting his goddamn foot down. You don't have to cuck to these people, man. This is a dude, regardless how you feel about Joe Hendry. I don't think he's very good either. But this is a guy that you decided to put your world title on. And you are telling the world that your entire roster from top, because he's the top, to the bottom is worth less than 2 moons of offense on a guy they have not pushed in like a decade, bro.
But he's gonna get that Cena match. And he's gonna fucking lose it. Everybody, the only reason he's getting the Cena match because he has no other challengers, man. No other
challengers. And it's in St. Louis.
And it's in St. Louis. Like Randy Orton don't matter in the grand scheme of things, bro. Have some respect for yourselves. Y'all run a TV show. Y'all run a business too. And y'all deserve this shit, man. And then Joe Hendry, I understand that you are looking at life past the TNA contract that you're on. I get it, bro.
Shit. He's looking past it.
I get it. I understand. But like, brother, all you had to say was, I was asked to do a job. I went out there and I did the job to the best of my ability. It was fun. You don't have to defend what people are rightfully saying, because back in the day, we would call shit how it looked. You got buried, bro. They buried you. They buried your company. They went out of their way to say, oh my God, TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry is here. He is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Can you believe that they said TNA World Heavyweight Champion like 6 times, and this motherfucker lost in 3 minutes? They wanted you to know that this dude was a world champion, and they wanted to show you that these guys can't hang with us. That's what they wanted to show you. They didn't. And you know what's funny? Y'all put on a pay-per-view. This, like Brandon brought up, not a single WWE guy at WrestleMania weekend showed up at your fucking pay-per-view. Not a single one. But you know what happens? Your world champion goes out there and gets buried in 3 minutes. Have some respect for yourselves, man. And this is their game. Hold on, Brandon. This is their game. They did the same thing to Taz. They let Taz go to fucking ECW when Mike Awesome went, and they worked out this deal with fucking WCW, Paul Heyman, and WWE. But part of the deal is that Taz had to let everybody know. See, 8-year-old Marquine was fucking pissed off at this. So they let fucking, was I 8? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was like 12. I think I was 12. It doesn't matter.
Well, it was literally the 25th anniversary.
The 25th anniversary of this shit. They let him go out there and let everybody know he was the ECW World Champion. I think he even said what happened to him to win back that title, and then Triple H embarrasses him on SmackDown. This is how they treat their partners, by the way. This is why I'm so concerned about what's happening with AAA. This is why I'm worried about if some Japanese company decides to jump in their pocket, because we're going to have Ozawa losing in 5 minutes on Raw, because this is how they get down. They want you to know that they run the world. They don't care about this shit at all. They don't care about anyone else but themselves, man. And all you motherfuckers defending this are not fucking pro wrestling fans, man. You don't care about the shit that you watch. You already admitted it by saying you don't care about the matches. So clearly you don't care about pro wrestling and the health in the world of pro wrestling. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you, bro. Fuck y'all. Seriously. Every last one of y'all.
Can I say one thing? And I'm curious if you agree with me or not. This is better than if it was Orton versus Kevin Steen or Owens, right? Like, I mean, it's at least entertaining. And like,
it is.
Would you have been that entertained if it was that match?
I was not entertained, Brendan. I was not.
You were not entertained for this match?
I was pissed.
Fact that
I was pissed. Now, I will say this. When I
don't give a fuck about TNA, so I think it's funny. Sure.
It's not about TNA, Brandon. It's not just about TNA. It's about how they treat the motherfuckers that they work.
What Brandon's saying is that it's entertaining because to see how
they sign up for it.
Yeah, TNA is to see just how petty WWE is. The whole thing. I agree. I watched this in disbelief, laughing, because I could not believe what I was seeing, that after the story about The Miz came out and the dude gets fired because he was like, nah, our champion's not losing to The Miz. And then on WrestleMania, they do this stuff. I thought it was hilarious. Look,
I got him lose to The Miz.
I mean, you might as well have. I mean,
to me, that's not as bad.
What the? Look, it's evident that who's ever running TNA right now doesn't give a shit. So what? We shouldn't give a shit. I mean, honestly, but this was hilarious.
I'm worried about what it means.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. And there's a part of that makes me really mad. And there was a part of me that, because I figured that at least fans would be smart enough to be like, oh, look at this WWE, flexing their muscle over TNA. And instead what we got was, oh, this is great. This is going to make, this is going to make TNA better. Bigger. This wasn't a burial. This was, at least say what the fuck actually happened.
Like it's crazy because you still have people. I know we get on here, we dog TNA, but people still watch that show. Shout out to Mike and JD, the Mike and JD podcast. They review it all the time.
I mean, LV watches it.
LV watches it. Shout out to Garrett Kidney and the You Gotta Be Kidding Me podcast. They talk about the history of TNA Pro Wrestling. There are wrestling fans that watch different wrestling companies, bro. So when they see this and they see their world champion being treated like this, bro, it makes me wonder how many companies will fall victim to shit like this. What are they gonna do? Who's the mega champion right now? What are they gonna do to that person?
Alberto.
Like you know what I'm saying? Well, we gotta worry about that. He's not gonna but when he loses that, right? Let's say Vikingo wins that thing back. When he loses on speed in fucking 2 minutes, stuff like that, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on. How does anybody think this is good How? I just don't get it. Before we would all agree.
Anything else other than WWE? That's all
we
about.
would all agree this was bad. What happened? Where did we go wrong, man?
WWE fans who, as if you are affiliated with WWE, that's gonna be good for whatever little rinky dink shit that you're pulling off of. So those fans, that's all they care about.
Texting, I don't want to say it wrong. Is it Yaku or Yako? I don't know, but he brought up a good point. AEW wouldn't do this. We've complained that AEW would bring in people from other companies and they get too much offense in. And we complain about that. We've complained. So like
the biggest complaint about AEW is simply that they don't let other like the New Japan guys don't win enough. But there is a reality to this where you know WWE without a doubt, WWE people should be beating TNA people, but you do want to protect your
world champion.
Why couldn't he get a flash roll up to be like 1-2 fucking Randy Orton?
He did do that.
Shit, I didn't see that.
He did, but it wasn't like nobody.
I mean, you're right. If this had been,
a couple
let's say
like
10 minutes,
if
this had been 10 minutes of back and forth where it looks like Randy Orton might lose, you're right. I think people would have went, hey, that was
kind of cool. Good. Maybe maybe Randy Orton actually endorses the dude. Like, yo, you took me to the limit, man. Y'all got a good world champion over there. I know Joe Lanza brought up him grabbing the microphone and saying, "I can't wait to see who you face at Rebellion." And honestly, ideally, that's what they should do. But you can't expect that on WrestleMania. But still, like that's how you actually help your partner, bro. And I think that what happened at WrestleMania exposed the fact that they are just mining this company, bro. They don't actually care about partnership and the benefits that both sides could get from this. The NXT people are going over there. People are saying to get more reps, right? That's what they're saying, to get more reps. Nah, man, they're giving these people something to do. Because I promise you, a lot of these NXT people that are going over there in 2 years won't even be in this company anymore. That's the type of shit they're doing, man. It is a place to justify having people on the roster. That's what they're using TNA as, and then pulling the people from TNA that they want to sign, the Jordan Graces, and then whenever Joe Hendry's deal is up, him too, and everybody else over there they might want to sign. I'm glad you got out of there, Mike Bailey. I'm glad you got out of there, Josh Alexander, because I can still watch you now. So yeah. Jesus, man.
I just brought up the Unbreakable card just to make sure. Yeah, there is no WWE affiliated anybody on this card. It is.
Hey, Phoenix, what happened after Randy Orton raised his hand? What happened? What happened? He didn't show respect. What happened? Look, I don't want to pick on you, but like we should know better. We should know better. We know what that is. In any other era, we know exactly what that is, bro. Why are we trying to turn it into something that it's not? We would just call it what it is. We all would agree that it was what it was. We wouldn't just say,
go back. You know what? Go back and look at how WWE treated the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, right? Like they weren't doing this shit. And those were Smoky Mountain, who gives a shit, tag team champions. I mean, come the fuck on. Like if you actually have a real partnership with somebody, you kind of, you give them something and whatever.
Just a little something. Just a little something, man.
Well,
man. But shout out to Joe Hendry. They're gonna hire him, and he's gonna live for years with that catchphrase.
About this match, Chase?
About this show? About this?
Hang on. I thought one of the best match. I mean, the best match. My favorite match was the Randy Orton Joe Hendry, but I thought the best match was the women's three-way. The Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Bianca getting booed was weird, but whatever. And Rhea Ripley, and I enjoyed that.
I liked it. Much as I liked that, still thought it was overrated.
Yeah, I don't think it was great, but I enjoyed the match for sure.
It was maybe the best match or the second best match that WWE put on either night of WrestleMania. I mean, it was
Logan Paul and AJ Styles had a bad match. I didn't watch it.
Yes,
boring.
yeah, it was
It was
bad
boring.
match.
It was
It's
boring.
bad. It's boring.
Wow,
Boring.
what?
Somebody thought Logan Paul had to go out there and get heat.
Yeah.
People already hate him, bro. They should have went out there. They should have went out there and did cool shit for like 10 minutes.
I mean, but to be fair, that was the only part of the match that worked, was him getting heat. But
does AJ care enough to just leave?
No. Yeah,
No.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Does Bailey care enough to just leave?
Should we talk about the Bailey stuff?
She got a year and a half left.
But I mean, that a year and a half. I mean,
do you walk in and go, you know what? I'm done. Let's figure something out.
Or they just see like, hey, like we're paying her. Like, let's just. I mean, Bailey is not going to mean anything for All Elite Wrestling business. She's not.
That's a good fuck you signing. That's a good fuck you signing.
You
I don't know,
look
man.
How many people, look how many people you got. The Penta and the Phoenix and the Ricky Saints who they still chant for Tony during those matches.
Right.
And Malachi Black is coming back. You just brought back Rusev. Like, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
I don't know, Brandon, because I think maybe her and Mercedes as a ratings draw might be something like together.
I agree with you. You sign her primarily because she's shot. I mean, we all agree she's shot. But she's a fuck you signing. She is a fuck you signing. That is what she is. And yeah, you're in a wrestling war, so sometimes you need to do a fuck you signing. And I mean, I wondered like how she, like, okay, because we got the report that hey, this was on the plans all along, but then that video popped up today, and I don't know. She looked pissed. I will say that she looked pissed off.
I gotta watch this video, man.
She looked pissed off. And my thing with this is, why in God's name would you do, even with what we know happened at Raw, why wouldn't you just do Becky and Bailey as the tag team? It's just one night. It's one night. You get,
especially because old girl Lyra Valkyria is like a champion. You could just have.
And I get that what you're going to is her and Becky. That looks like what they're going to over that belt. Then you can't do okay. Lyra gets hurt. She doesn't get approved for the match, right? So then Bailey brings out Becky. They win. The next night you have Becky attack Bailey. Put Bailey out, like injury out, and she can be gone because you don't need Bailey.
And then maybe Lyra comes out
and then Lyra comes back, right? Yeah. And you could do the exact same feud, and you get more heat because you just did it on. You just had her turn on Bailey.
That's a good point.
That's so much better. Like
probably way more effective too. Honestly, probably more.
Yeah, effective. Like the whole thing, and that was even. And I was saying that before we got the turn. I was like, why wouldn't you do a Becky and Bailey tag team? That is a much more effective tag team than whatever else you're gonna do. So fucking stupid.
Like, and then because they love nostalgia. You could play into the nostalgia of the 4 horsewoman, and they're like, how did you turn on your 4 horse? Yeah, they love nostalgia. They keep bringing up the Shield every fucking time.
Right?
They love nostalgia, man. So you're right. Should have did that.
I mean, to me, that's a better. That's. Like that's another thing, and then, like we said, PR wise, like people picked on that part of the video and were like, okay, she's definitely not happy about this. And then you had the Rock stuff today, where I mean,
did we ever talk about the Rock stuff, or did we just?
I talked about the Rock stuff, but y'all talked about the Rock stuff.
I mean,
they're
there's definitely. There's heat, and if you don't understand, there was heat back in the
1998. 1998.
there was heat.
Was just understandable. I mean, these guys came up in the business around the same time. It's understandable they're going to have some animosity. That's fine, but now that both of them are like, I don't know, it's very entertaining. I'm very entertained by this.
It's got to eat at Triple H that The Rock is like here in this company. He's like right here. It's got to eat at him, bro. Because for so long, The Rock was the bigger star, but like Triple H was higher on the totem pole because of the relationship with Vince.
Do you think
now it doesn't matter?
Oh yeah, he didn't even mention Nick Khan or Paul calling him into Elimination Chamber. He said Ari Emanuel did.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is like, oh, okay.
That's some swinging
like,
stick right there. That's
like,
oh man.
And then I'm just basically just not saying that the main event was bad on night 2, but saying the main event was bad. Just how much do you think he saw what they had planned and went, I'll come in, but I ain't being any part of this bullshit, because this is not like, just looked at the card and was like, what is this? This is no.
Like
how much you want? He got down to the Ray match and was like, wait, who's this dude? Oh, that's what we're gonna do. That's a new Chad Gable gimmick, and they explained the gimmick, and he's like, fuck, I'm out. You guys are this is some Vince McMahon bull. Like, we didn't even talk about that match. That's some Vince McMahon bullshit. That whole gimmick is like, that's like Vince
That's
McMahon.
all Chad Gable's ever had, like Shorty G, and then this shit. It's like, he just resigned, just eat it up.
You know,
you could have left. You had an opportunity. He stayed. Now he's got a fucking stupid mask on that didn't fit, so they can do the loaded mask gimmick from 1960
with a gimmick that Mexicans are calling racist. Like, that's not just people.
Which is crazy. These are the most like, oh, we don't care people on the planet, and like that. Right. Like, oh, hold on, this shit here.
Wait. I mean,
that's funny. But yeah, this show sucked.
The show sucked.
I thought both nights were bad.
It kept the Vegas WrestleMania tradition alive.
Being
true,
bad shows, yeah.
Also,
should we also talk about the fact that night 2 just barely got to 60,000, and night 1 was what, 50? Didn't 55. At all. Like, the whole point of them doing these 2 nights was so that they could do, and they did more than 100 grand, but to do a lot more than like to the point of, oh, well, we can't even run 100,000 seat stadiums because we have more fans than even that. You didn't do that this year either. So what are we doing? Like, when, like Brandon said, SummerSlam looks, I don't know, like
Cardi B, man.
2 nights. 2 nights.
If they, let's, if things continue like they are, what would you put both nights? 40 grand?
No.
30?
Yeah, I'm
30?
thinking more 30-ish. Yeah.
30?
I mean, if these ticket prices are the same.
Oh, fuck those ticket prices.
You saw the video. Orton was like, you paid what for your man? Like, holy shit. Like, damn.
Did you see West Side Gun? Like, I want my 50K back.
Bro, you an idiot for paying.
You crazy as hell.
Also, can we talk about the fact they had all of these stars there, and they do such a shit job of like featuring these stars and these celebrities at these events? Like,
poor Dean Norris.
I'm like,
Dean Norris, he looks so confused, like
right. Like, I'm watching this, and then I always think back of like when AEW does this, and it comes off so much better. And maybe that's just me being, biased, but it just seems like it comes off more impactful.
Because they'll flash the camera on that person, and then Excalibur, whoever on commentary, will go, "Hey, that's such and such enjoying the action,"
or they're into it. Leslie Jones is into the action.
Kristaps Porzingis was into the action. Was into Ospreay to Kesta.
Remember when Giannis was there? Giannis was like marking out for those destroyers and all that shit. Right. They showed the best player, well, at the time, the best player in the NBA losing his mind for great action. That's how you do it. That's how you. Hey, if he likes this, maybe That's right. How you got to do. That's how you got to do. Also, real quick, I know they made it gross, but y'all, please try City of the Wolves. They actively went out of their way to make sure that nobody would want to play City of the Wolves. Please try it though, seriously.
But and for people that don't know why that video game was all over, at least night 1 of WrestleMania.
Blood. Money.
That's why the Saudis bought SNK. I think, is this the first? I was going to ask you, Mark. Is this the first game?
It's the first one since they bought it. Yep.
Yeah. Like I think they were putting money into it before, but I think this is the first where they
like the
Right.
face behind it, all that. Yeah.
Right. So you get that. So that's what you get. That's part of the thing. Also, I was going to ask you, have you watched Max's video of him playing?
Of course.
That is the funniest shit ever because he wants to hate it so much. He wants to hate it so much.
But yeah, y'all buy that game.
Yeah.
Please buy that. Or at least play it. At least try it. Try it. You might like it.
All right, we got any other wrap ups? Are we done?
I mean, this was a really nothing WrestleMania weekend. Like I said, there was good stuff there, and I really hope that there was an indie or a promoter out there that decides I don't need a super show. I don't need a pure super show, but I would like a show where the best talent was featured and where a lot of the indie talent that we don't get to see all the time was highlighted. I don't think that's asking too much on a show that's super hyped on a super show type show. I think that's really something that's missing from WrestleMania weekend because GCW doesn't do that. They use their people and then a few other big names, and that's all they do. So
I think this weekend, just overall wrapping it up, kind of highlighted that pro wrestling sucks right now.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
WWE sucks.
Yeah. Mainstream, the mainest of streams. Pro wrestling is garbage.
And I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Like now they are trying to invade the stuff that isn't mainstream, man. It sucks, man. It's scary. It sucks.
Should we have said? I know I said, but is it even more evident that we should have seen, especially the GCW stuff last year when Nick Khan was at?
Look, man. I know we said it last week, but like I feel so foolish that we didn't really beat that home, man. Because now it's like pretty evident what they're doing. It's pretty evident,
right? And for Brett to go, well, we got the.
Now Taylor's just saying that because he's going fucking dead or alive. You bastard. But no, it is though. It is like I'm catching up to everything. Dragon Gate.
I thought Dragon Gate. The thing with Dragon Gate is Dragon Gate isn't what Dragon Gate used to be, but I thought that I hope that they didn't like take this weekend. I hope that they're looking long term, and that they're going to do like I hope they're at All In Weekend. I hope they're like, okay, we got to be at All In Weekend too, and bring whoever they're going to bring because their matches all them and the Luchadors all.
Yeah, Taylor is actually going to to me, their most important show in God knows when, because like this is such a huge show. And if they deliver, plus, them coming over here and having the matches that they had, it might be, they might start cooking again. You know what I mean? It might, in terms of business, possible. The Stardom Yokohama show I will preview on a Blue Moon Extra. Don't have time right now. And I'll review it.
Well, after 4 straight weeks,
Trace are not knocking us off early. He's back.
I mean, we went an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's fine. No, yeah. It's perfect time for this weekend.
Yeah. Listen, nothing happened weekend.
This weekend fucking sucked. I don't want to watch Backlash. I'm like really through with having to actually pay attention to WWE for this bullshit. It was. Like, I was sick Sunday. Like, literally sick. And it was just like...
Could have just skipped it like I did.
Well, I didn't have anything else going on.
Gotcha.
But anyways, we'll see y'all.
2 weeks. Excuse me? 2 weeks.